So I am leaving in a week. I'll be gone for 3 weeks and I'll be visiting 5 countries. So Malaysia, France, Switzerland, Italy, and then Thailand. So I thought it'd be cool to share with you guys, rather than doing a packing list, how I'm approaching packing for 5 countries. Let me just move this. I feel like I've done my fair share of traveling. Every time I go, I feel like I've dialed this part in, and this is the system. So things that I bring every trip, and because I figured it out, it doesn't really require much effort to think about. And this includes tech pouch. All my cables, all my adapters, everything charging related, everything tech related lives in here. This one I got from TomTok, and it's a pretty affordable one. I have a universal travel adapter in here, some charging cables, some other cables, and whatnot. And a cool trick I like to do is buying extra cables. So in the past, I used to pack the cable that was next to my nightstand. Having to remember to bring your cable the morning of or the night of your flight gets pretty stressful. That's why I like buying an extra cable that just lives permanently in here, and I don't really think about it. The next thing is pretty dependent on the person. I have with me my toiletries. So this is my skincare, and this is like my other toiletry stuff. This is because I like to carry these on my carry-on. And there's a limit to how much liquid you can bring. Make sure you check how much your containers can fit. But also my moisturizer comes in a really big bottle, so it just saves you a lot of weight and it's a lot easier to carry. So I like to decant my stuff and put them in these water-sealed pouches. By the way, the containers I have are from Muji as well as the pouches. For some reason, I really like my stuff to match, so you don't need to get the same ones, but I guess that's just me. And also the way I differentiate each one is I have a little label on top of the containers. That way you can tell which one's which. Next, I have this sleeping mask. This basically straps your face to the chair so that you have support for your neck. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I saw a YouTube video saying that they recommended this, and I've been using it for like the past 3 years and having no complaints. So also it packs pretty small. I feel like those big neck pillows do take up a lot of space, so I prefer having something like this. So let's talk about the bag. To my left, I have the TomTok 40-litre travel backpack. You may have seen this online before, but basically it's crowned as one of the best budget travel backpacks. I've used it a few times. I got this for, I think, around 110 Australian dollars, which in comparison to other backpacks in that price range, you're not gonna get much better. I'm not gonna gloss over the features too much because there are other videos that explain it better than I can. But basically, to summarize my thoughts on it, I used to travel with one of those carry-on luggages, but when I switched to the TomTok backpack, I remember thinking to myself, damn man, like why not do this earlier? For my style of traveling, I feel like the backpack beats the carry-on luggage. Way easier to maneuver. You don't have to carry 2 luggages, so if you're carrying a checked-in and a carry-on. But also, it has a back strap that attaches to the luggage, so you only end up pushing 1 luggage. Because it's a backpack, it's super easy to access stuff. And the only con I can think of is because you are wearing on your back, it can get heavy over time as opposed to pushing a carry-on luggage. However, being able to access your things conveniently, also attaching your backpack to your luggage kind of solves that problem, I guess. And also I want to mention that 40 litres is plenty of space. I can fit all my clothes, my toiletry, my laptop, some camera gear, and I have no issues with space. The next bag I'm bringing with me is this K&F 10-litre sling bag. This is my everyday bag, and this is my stowaway bag. So I talked briefly about the bag in my last video where I share with you guys my camera travel kit. Stuff like my camera that I'm using right now, water bottle, passport, wallet. But basically that's the system that I'm gonna be using for this upcoming trip based on my previous experiences and what I've learned from traveling so far. Alright, so let's talk about clothes. This is the part that I probably struggle with the most. In the past, I would often overpack and always find myself going home to realize that I didn't wear like half the stuff I brought. Specifically, for my last trip to Japan, I brought my Daniel Simmons merino knit, and I did not wear that once. Not only did I not wear it once, the thing weighs like probably 2 kilos or a kilo. So it took up a lot of space and it added unnecessary weight. And I think when you're traveling, packing clothes is probably one of the hardest parts to get right. You gotta factor in like every scenario. Like what if it rains? What if it's hot? What if it's cold? What if you're on a multiple climates? And probably the worst one is when and where you're gonna wash your clothes. Okay, so full disclaimer, I know this approach isn't for everyone. Some people pack based just on vibes, and that's totally fine. This is definitely more of a me problem. Honestly, I find it pretty fun to like optimize these areas in my life. But basically, what I did was I started planning my outfits digitally. So long story short, I built a wardrobe app where I can catalog everything I own. Essentially, you take a photo of the piece you own, you upload it onto the database, and then you can start building outfits and collections from there. So for this trip, I created a specific collection, went through everything that I was considering bringing and asking myself, does this piece work with everything else that I'm bringing, and does it earn a spot? And if you guys want to do something similar, there's actually a free app you could use called Index. I made my own because I wasn't a big fan of the UI, but same concept, you don't need to build your own app. But what I like about it is that it forces you to actually look at what you're packing. Because for me, when you're just throwing stuff in a bag, it's pretty easy to convince yourself that you need this piece. But when you're looking at it on a screen next to everything else, it's easy to pick out what you need and what you don't need. For now, I decided going with 20 pieces for 5 countries. So I won't go through every single piece. I'll kind of walk you guys through the thinking and thought process behind it. So I got 2 outerwear pieces. I have my Arc'teryx beta jacket and my OD hoodie from Montbell. The Arc'teryx jacket is the main shell for when I'm hiking. It's fully waterproof, it packs down small, and hopefully it comes in clutch when I do my Switzerland and Dolomite hikes. The Montbell jacket is a lighter layer, not waterproof, it's water resistant, but I feel like for majority of situations, it should hold up fine. Part of the reason why I'm bringing this jacket is because I feel like the bright blue will really pop out when you're out hiking, and I feel like it will make for some pretty good footage. For tops, I got 10 tops, which sounds like a lot. 4 of them, which are marked with little green dots, are ones I'm planning to buy when I'm traveling. But for the most part, I try to keep the color palette pretty neutral. That way, everything kind of works with each other, and I'm not trying to figure out like what matches with what. In terms of specific pieces, I have one Montbell Wickron long sleeve. This one I'm mainly going to use for hiking because the material is really good at picking away sweat. It also keeps you cool and hopefully it doesn't hold on to too much odor. And then the UNIQLO HEATTECH. You might be wondering why I'm packing HEATTECH for summer. This one I'm bringing purely for the plane. Honestly, I learned this the hard way. One time I was flying from Singapore to Melbourne and I only wore a tank top. I didn't have any clothes in my carry-on and I was freezing the whole time I was flying. And because I flew with a budget airline, they didn't give me a blanket, so yeah, not going to do that again. I'm also throwing in 2 gym tops that are on the list. These are more for like pajamas or backups or when I go gym. One more thing worth mentioning, and I feel like this is a pretty important one. This is a tip that I picked up from Morris Moves, who's kind of like the travel expert. But most of what I'm bringing is polyester, mainly because it's good at keeping you cool. Like most sports stuffs are made out of polyester, and it's also really quick to dry. So generally, it's a bit easier to deal with for longer trips. For bottoms, I have 4 pieces, 2 UNIQLO wide cargo pants. They're pretty thin, have the extra pockets, so I feel like they'll work well for this trip. Then I've got the UNIQLO Miracle Air pants. These ones are a bit dressier, so good for if I'm going out to a nice dinner. And lastly, I have the UNIQLO Ultra Stretch Active Pants. These are basically my comfort pants. I'm also throwing in 2 gym shorts, also as like a backup. For shoes, I'm only bringing with me 2. I have the Salomon XT6 Goretex and the Birkenstock Arizonas. Salomons I've talked about plenty of time on my channel. It's my perfect travel shoe. It's great for any weather, it's super durable and super comfortable. I've honestly brought them for every trip I've gone to last year. So then the Birkenstock Arizonas are more for when I want something easy to wear. And lastly, I'm bringing a hat with me just in case. Good for sun protection, good for if you don't style your hair. Okay, so that's the plan for this trip. Hopefully the plan works and I actually wear the clothes that I bring. But what's good about having this wardrobe app is that I have all the data saved and I can check. But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my travel vlogs. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Time for me to stop procrastinating and actually pack. See ya.